Yo, 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 what's happening, everybody? It is Sensei Daddy with Mr. Saucy here, and we are checking out a video of a guy who they used to call Lip because of his lip. But he joined Cobra Kai.
Because he was like
and
the nerd of
that
the
guy
school.
right there, and he became Hawk. A young teen ninja from the Cobra Kai series on Netflix.
I have not watched the 4th season.
Not the 4th season. I haven't watched past the 2nd season, but I'm excited to see it. And this request comes from May, just May. So I hope middle school's treating you right. But anyway, we're gonna get his big mohawk. His whole like tattoo thing going on. Probably get the red headband in there. And a little Cobra Kai action. So we're going to strike hard, we're going to strike first, and show no mercy. Let's get into the creation station and check it out! Alright, welcome back. We are in the creation station tonight drawing Hawk from Cobra Kai, and we are portrait style. And for this drawing, we're going to start with the nose, and we're going to add like a big face and a smaller body and then some cool features in it. So what we're gonna do is it's kind of turned up and we got a little flare in the nostrils, not too long. So we're gonna kind of go like that. That doesn't quite do it because we gotta get this real kind of flare right in there. So we're gonna add that to the side. And same thing that I noticed in our practice drawing with our eyes was we really wanted to get this kind of overhead to show sort of, you know, that fearsome look in the eyes. So there's a lot of like kind of jarring movement in the eyes. So we're gonna get the eyebrows fairly straightforward across like that. And then we gotta put that lip. The old thing he was made fun of was like that cut shape inside of his lip. Or right above it. If you remember, Hawk was called Lip early on in the series before he joined Cobra Kai. And we're gonna get like a grunt. So there's a lot of kind of anger, aggression hanging out in the face. So we're gonna go up here and we're gonna kind of get like a stern brow. We're gonna tighten it in towards the nose, along the cheek, and then got some movement here in the chin, sort of like that. All right, now we're gonna have the head kind of turning away, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop it down to the side, and we're gonna put an ear shape over here. All right, so we're gonna get the ear and just kind of get a little bit of movement in the ear like that. All right. And the rest of the neck is going to kind of, well, it's gonna come down here a little bit. There's gonna be a little bit of movement, but it's gonna come down like that. And there's gonna be a turn to it. So we're gonna kind of show some of that neck movement, and then the rest of the neck kind of coming down here. And a little bit of movement like that. He turned around looking at us. All right, now the Cobra Kai shirt has a part that kind of comes up. So we're certainly gonna include that, and then we're gonna kind of tie the rest of the collar in. So we're gonna add a little bit of extra there, and same thing here. We're going to come down a little bit, just kind of add a little bit of extra, and we're going to get our sleeve sort of coming across and cutting back down, and pretty much the same thing on the other side, but you can't see it. So we're going to throw a little shoulder out there with a little bit of arm, and here's where it starts to come to life. All right, so we're going to have our hair and our headband, and our headband is just going to kind of impact across the forehead. That's one of the beauties of using the Sharpie, is that we can kind of decide, hey, we want our headband to go right over here, across here, just like that. And you know what? that's fine. That can become part of the hair. So if we call that a mistake, we'll call it a happy little accident because we can do something with it. And what we're gonna do is bring the bottom two parts of the mohawk in like that. Right here in the hair, we're gonna start the top section and bring it down like that. Then we have a big section in the middle, bring it down like that. Big section kind of tilting to the back, bring it down like that. And then we're gonna have two more. One, bring it down like that, and then two, and we're gonna bring it in like that. Now, we're gonna have some hair dye that's about halfway up. So I'm gonna do this kind of sort of zigzag that's gonna be fairly close, fairly consistent. So I don't want something that's too wide, and I don't want something that I'm worrying about too much. And I also don't want something that's too narrow. Something that just kind of has a smooth flow all the way across. Then from the headband, we're gonna sort of work in some strokes like that to give the hair some direction and some darkness. This is the darker area of the hair, and I'm putting it fairly close together, about like I did the movement in my zigzag. And then that way, when we go color this bad boy in, we can get a nice dark color in the headband. All right, so I'm just gonna sort of work that across. And then you can see the difference in materials between the headband and the hair. So we're gonna work that one in. Maybe if I wanted to be picky, I might use pastel here, but I'm pretty happy with the way that the headband is coming out. So for this one, I'm just gonna say, hey, I'm gonna use a little Sharpie here. I'm gonna make a nice dark headband. I'm gonna try to get consistent back and forth. And I'm just gonna, you know, do a good job and invest in some more. We are gonna put some other colors in here, so that'll add a little bit of fun factor here in a few minutes once we get the rest of the details hashed out. But we're really getting like that hawk look, kind of angry look, looking back. All right, so we're gonna do sort of a layer up here at the top, and this one's kind of yellow. And I'm kind of doubling up the thickness of the line in between to show these kind of overlapped areas in the fabric, which you'll see what we're gonna do with that in a minute. And then it has kind of a solid strip in the uniform that comes down like that. And then it has a dark section that kind of follows along that solid strip, just like so. So the color we're looking at is gonna be a yellow color that we're gonna put in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and say, why not use this older highlighter, which is not like the fluorescent kind. It's kind of like a bright yellow kind. It's gonna be perfect for right here because we're just coloring in a small section. Ooh, it's like corn. Really like that yellow. All right, very nice. So I got our yellow in there. All right, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work some Cobra Kai into here. So I'm gonna get a little movement in my Cobra kind of coming up. A little movement in the Cobra coming up. And I'm gonna start right about here with the outline. And then what we have going on is down low, I have this coming in. All right, and some of the head shape Cobra, like that. Okay, and then we got these kind of like Cobra eyes coming down like this. Alright, and then more of the head shape coming around like that. Okay, then I have a little part kind of coming up on the inside of the bottom, and I think we're going to throw some of the logo in here. So we're going to put a little C O, a little Co. Alright, and then the B is separate. We're going to get a little B. And that's going to kind of come up like that. There we got an R. The R is a little bit unique because it kind of touches into the A. So we're going to get some of that. And then our A is going to kind of come in like that. So whoever designed this, interesting to say the least. Alright, and we're going to get like a little bit of movement here. Like that. And then our Chi kind of coming down, and we're going to have like a big swoop in the K, which also swoop way up like that. And then again, kind of cursive A, and then the cursive I. So it's going to come up like this, so we're going to see the tail end of that, and then our eye stamped out like that. So you can definitely sort of tell what's going on with the letter, and we have a little movement like this. All right, and that's going to get filled in with our red, so we're going to go ahead and pull that out. I have that in a whole separate bin here, so we're going to go ahead and get that filled in with the red, which has been sort of sitting idle, so it's nice and fresh. And you want to make sure that you store these with the tip pointing down, which can give it maximum effectiveness when you want to pick them up to use them. For some materials it's different, but for most of these Sharpies and the metallic ones and the colors, tip pointing down is a great way to store, not side by side, not pointing up. Why, I don't know, but it's part of the formulation. It kind of makes sense, you know, gravity falls. So, Cobra, Chi, right there. All right, we're going to go ahead and get some of this yellow worked in. All right, get that area filled. Very kind of that aged look, so we're gonna give it a nice firm amount of pressure, but we're gonna go around the A a little bit, give it a nice kind of like a fade. All right, so you can get that essence of color in there, and we're gonna get a little bit on the other side. It is yellow, so I like when you're working with these markers, it's okay to put the yellow last because they all can kind of blend together and you're not going to get like a huge mix in there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take our red now and work it into the hawk, the mohawk of hawk, and we're going to get that whole section worked up. And kind of right across like there. And we're kind of like making certain elements stand out. And that end, love the noise it makes. Kind of reminds me of Bill Cosby's Mortimer J. Marker. Remember that from Picture Pages? It made that squeaky noise. Gosh, I love that sound. All right, we're gonna take our pastel and we're gonna get a little bit of color into our Cobra down below. And we're just gonna kind of add a little level of darkness, kind of soup it up here at the end. So, Cobra working in. And get that. And then let's see if we can squeeze in a little bit of black pastel while we're here. I'm not pulling out a black at the moment, so we're gonna go ahead and just kind of get our Sharpie in there. We're gonna do some up and down, side to side. Kind of give it like a rough look, so it will also, if you're doing that, will show off kind of texture of the material, so we can show like kind of some of the movement of the fabric. We're gonna get like a nice clean up and down on the sleeve, and a nice smooth dark edge around the Cobra, and then we'll go back in and we'll leave a little white space around the edge of our design in our shirt. We're going to kind of go sort of back and forth on the material right here. Alright, so sometimes when you're coloring a large area, especially if you don't want to fill it in all the way, you don't have like a paint or something like that, you want to think about the path that you want to move in and how that can make an intentional effect in your work, whether it's a brush stroke or a marker stroke or a line or something like that. Whatever movement that you create moves the eye, so even if it's fast, be deliberate and be intentional with it. Alright, so we're gonna get a little bit inside the Cobra Kai right now. We're just gonna kind of go slow and simple around all the details. This shouldn't be too difficult. Alright, so you can see I'm kind of filling in right here like that. And getting a little bit more in the top. And by the way, we made a shout out earlier. This video is for just May. So if you get a chance to check out her YouTube channel, she makes some really interesting stuff with her siblings and friends. And I look forward to seeing what you're going to suggest again next time, what kind of stuff you're going to make in the future. What's going to happen in Cobra Kai, because, man, this has been around since I was a kid. Now they're taking it to the next level. We're going to go ahead and put a nice solid hawk in here. All right, we'll put that and get our signature, 22, and that is the end of tonight's drawing. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and comment, and have a wonderful evening.